Hi everyone, welcome to the day 12 of Innovation and Inspiration at GCC TechFusion 2023-2024 actually. I'm Sohail, your guide on this exciting journey, proudly hosted by the FINAP Worldwide Bahrain under our pioneering Gulf Platform Solutions. As we always say, it's not just about connecting, it's about igniting a spark of possibilities and exploring the limitless horizons of technology together with GPS. Wait for a session packed with software insights tailored for your business. At FINAP Worldwide Bahrain, we are not just creating solutions, we are leading a change with our GPS platform. This effort goes beyond typical projects. It reflects our commitment to connecting every ambitious mind in Gulf with cutting-edge technology. With GPS, we are pushing boundaries further into the realm of software solutions. We are leading a digital revolution that's accessible, cost-effective, but also cutting-edge. This is innovation like you have never seen before. Now, let's talk about transformation. Today, our spotlight is on WMS Plus. In an era where businesses are constantly seeking ways to enhance productivity, reduce costs, and improve overall efficiency, the role of a warehouse management solution has become increasingly pivotal. Today, we'll explore how this technology is revolutionizing the way businesses handle inventory, manage logistics, and optimize their supply chain processes. Whether you're a logistics professional seeking to optimize your warehouse process, a business owner aiming to enhance overall operational efficiency, or an IT enthusiast who's keen on staying ahead of the technological trends, this webinar will help you to provide will help you with tailored solutions and insights that will resonate with your goal. Without further ado, let me share my screen and show you around the platform and tell you how FINAP's warehouse management system WMS Plus works. Right, so I hope everyone can see my screen. To tell you about the tech stack of this solution, WMS Plus, the tech stack is React.js, Node.js, .NET Core, and Microsoft SQL Server. So this is SAP integratable, and we have in fact integrated with the SAP. So the system is SAP ready. So all the information from the backend will be coming through the SAP. So we do have internal database, but then all the data that we are using to run the system comes through SAP. So to just give you a background as to how this can help you or how this is going to be integrated is that initially we would require the API documents to see how we can align those documents to see where the trigger points are so that we can take those data into the system and see how the system and the SAP can communicate with each other. So there is a bit of a learning curve in the beginning to make sure what the APIs are going to be and what documentations that is needed for us to develop the integration. But once that is done, the system can seamlessly converse with SAP so that the information that we are using on SAP will be able to translate it into the system as well. Right, so this system has few modules to tell you as to how the process of the system has been designed and how it works. I'll first tell you about each module. So initially, what this does is that from when let's say for example, let's say that we are selling apples, right? So so we are a factory selling apples, for example. So every apple we need to label and we need to package, and once it is in the warehouse, we can then forward that to the to ship or maybe export it. So all the apples that comes from the factory needs to be labeled with a barcode. So those barcodes can be as carton barcodes and master barcodes. So let's say that we package 3 apples in one box and then we sell that to the supermarket, right? So when packing is considered, so with one box with 3 apples will be coming out from the warehouse, sorry, from the factory, where the apples are washed and they're clean and all that. It'll come from the factory with a box of 3 apples, and that box we can label it as a carton, right? So those cartons or each box of 3 apples will have a separate barcode. I hope you're with me. So I'll just rephrase it again. So let's say that we are a company selling pens. Okay. So in a pen case, okay, there are three pens, for example. So that is how we sell the product to the customer, the end client. Okay. So imagine in a pen case there are 3 pens. So from the factory, in the pen case, 3 pen comes in, and that we can barcode as a carton. Okay. So those cartons we can add multiple cartons, right? So we can then have like a stack of 20, 40, 50 in a big box. So that bunch can be taken as a master barcode, right? So there's the individual unit, and there's a pack of it, which is a carton, and a bunch of a pack is a master. So this is how we separate the barcodes. And then once the barcodes are printed, these can be ready to be dispatched. So dispatching can be done to intermediary warehouse or central warehouse. It depends on how the network of distribution is has been designed in your company. So once the goods are dispatched, let's say so from the factory, it's been dispatched to intermediate warehouse, or let's say that we are getting into the central warehouse. So in this case, I'll take for example that the goods came to an intermediate warehouse. So we have to make sure before the goods go from the factory to the intermediate warehouse, there's a good receipt. So then this good receipt can be used as a gate pass, right? So this can also be tracked that okay, once this comes back to the warehouse, this gate pass or the good receipt will be used to track that the goods came back to where it's supposed to go to, right? So at the central warehouse, we can do palletization. So then we can make sure that we are tracking where we are putting the stocks on, so we know the shelves and the columns or the rows of this of the stack that we have put, and loading in the sense from the central warehouse. When we send, either we could be exporting it or we could be selling it directly to the into market. So at that stage we can then load those products that we have in the central warehouse and then send it off. So basically that is the process on how this can be used. So now what I'll do is I'll go into each module so that we can have better understanding. Before that, to tell you, this system has a few dependencies. So there are hardware dependencies and there are software dependencies. To tell you the hardware dependencies, you need to have a barcode. It preferably a one with a USB. So so a USB cable. So those barcodes you can directly connect into the laptop, and then you'll be able to scan those with that barcode. So all the scanning can be done with the barcode scanner. The other hardware dependency is to have a receipt printer. So there are printing options. So for these printing functions, you need to have a printer. So that could be a mobile printer, that could be a stationary printer. Depending on your convenience of your company, you can have a printer. So yeah, those are the two hardware dependencies. And for the software dependencies, it would be that you need to have SAP for obviously to get the data from backend. Or if you do not have SAP and if you have different ERP, then we can come into a case study where we where we do some learning to see if the APIs are being supported and if we can integrate that with your system, and we can do a feasibility study and see if that is possible to do so, and then we'll be able to integrate that with your ERP system that you have already using. Uh, yeah. So and also there's another dependency at the moment as we use, so which is the we are using printers that are located in the local domain of the customer. So the printers the printer access by software we have configured into the system so that they connect. Okay. So basically those are the dependencies. Now I'll tell you with the flow as to how everything works. So initially what we can do is we can go into barcode printing and we can go into carton barcodes. So, right. So here, what you need to do is you need to enter your plant number. So the sales order number, this can be generated on your so on the SAP. So sales order number comes through the SAP. So you have to enter your sales order number. And plants from your company, you can have multiple plants. Plants in the sense, another word for a plant would be the factory where the products are being manufactured. So you could have multiple factories. So that could be a plant, right? So let's say that you have 10 factories. So you'll have you'll have numbers starting from 1 to 10. So for 10 plants, right? And then imagine a customer is placing an order. Okay, so a customer comes, let's say there's a company called ABC Private Limited. So this ABC Private Limited wants to buy 1,000 pens, right? So in a case where the ABC Private Limited wants to buy 1,000 pens, they will call your company. They'll say that, okay, I need to place an order, and then we'll take the order, and we'll send we'll make an odd number, right? So a sales odd number. So the sales order number will be registered in SAP. So that number, once you input into here, okay, it'll show that, okay, so it'll show you your name. So which in this case I mentioned ABC Private Limited. So ABC Private Limited's not name will be shown here. So it'll show the customer, and it'll show me my my orders. So it'll once what I need to do is I need to select the plot of the factor that it's coming from, and I will have the order in a list. So to show you that, so this is the screen which I have entered a sales order number. So I have blurred half of the information for privacy reasons. So the plant is 3 with which is the factory number. So this has come from third factory. And I have typed in the sales order number and I got a customer name and the customer number, right? So this customer has requested for two. He has put 2 sales orders for 2 different materials, and the order quantities, one is 1,525 and the other one is for 888. Okay, so it shows that the number of cartons that the customer has asked for is 127 and then 74 for this in this case. So we have printed four barcodes and 5 for this, and to be printed, which we have, this is in history, so we have done this before. So to be printed, we have 123 cartons to be printed left, and 69 cartons to be printed. So now that we do have the printer connected to the system, we can simply click on print, and it will print the barcode for this carton, right? So then what we'll do is, in practical scenario, we'll take this print and we'll paste it on the each carton. So to tell you here, here in this case, we can measure how many how much we can input into a carton, or how many single units that we can input into a carton. So this order country is 1,524. Okay, so we have number of cartons as 127. So this means that 12 individual units go into one carton, right? So if we take the pens as an example, so 12 pens will be in one box. So that is what a carton will be, right? So we print that, and then the next step would be to then segment it and have a master barcode, so that we don't send each individual box, because it makes our shipping harder. So what we can do is we can put all that into one big pile and then create a master barcode. So when we do that, what we'll be doing is we can again type the sales order number, and then you can select the number of cartons per strapping. So in a master barcode, for the ease of shipping, we have different sizes where we strap. So this could be we have strappings of 6 cartons, 12 cartons, 8 cartons, 24 cartons, and these can be different with your process. So obviously, if you are what you're manufacturing and transporting, if they're massive products, then we can't have 12 of them in a one car in one master code. So what we'll do is we'll maybe smaller the number, so maybe 2 would be in one master barcode with 3, right? So in this case, we have 6 or 12, 18 or 24 cartons per one master barcode. So basically what happens is once those once you yeah so once you once you scan those cartons, so here once you because you have generated cartons and you have printed them, so in the master barcode basically you have to scan those cartons and it'll show the list of the items that were scanned, and then you'll be able to generate the master barcode. So again, I'll explain because I think I'm not clear. So each scanned carton will be showed here. Okay, so you can generate the scanned carton number, and then when you go into master barcode, you can again type the sales order number, and you can select the number of strappings for you to get the master barcode. So in this case, I'll take 12, and then what I'll do is I'll keep scanning the 12 which I have with me from the carton barcodes print which I printed. So those barcodes, when they were scanned, it'll give me a list. So when I see 12, once it shows me the list, I can simply click on generate master barcode and my master barcode will be generated, right? So now that my master barcode is generated, now I have piled those separated few items into one master barcode. I can then now proceed to dispatching. So now to dispatch, what I need to do is, so I'll be selecting my plant, which is my factory, and from location and to location. So this could be going from the factory to the warehouse. It could be going to the factory to an intermediary warehouse, or it could go from an intermediary warehouse to the central warehouse. So there are multiple ways how this can go about, right? So we can select the plant that we are sending it from, and then we can select the to location and the from location and the to location, and we can create a dispatch. So once we do create a dispatch, uh, basically it'll show us the with the sales order number that okay, we have these items that's there, and what we can do is we can just click on batch pick. So it shows that you're picking these stuff for you to send. So you can just click on batch pick, or if you need to cancel or delete it, you can delete it. So it shows you the number of cartons and the order quantity, how much it is going from the one location a different location, and you can simply click on batch pick. So let's say you want to it's not the whole bulk of master barcodes that you're sending. It's only half of that you need to send right now, and the other half you are going to send later. So in a case like that, you can select you can do manual batch picking by here. So you can type in the sales order number and then the material code. It will show you the required quantity and the selected quantity. So you don't, let's say that you don't need the whole 576. Maybe you just need a little bit. So you can just click on the batches that you need to send, and then it'll show you the total batches that were selected, and you can simply complete and dispatch the bulk, right? So that is the dispatch. So when it is dispatched, now for the truck, for it to go from one location to different location, basically in the entrance there could be the security would need a gate pass. So the good receipt print also acts as a gate pass, and also it gives it acts as a token where the drivers or the person that is carrying the load can basically use it to know that how much of stock that this person is carrying. So here in the you can set the receipt location from because here anyway you are setting the dispatch in dispatch report you're specifying from where to where. So in the goods receipt location, in the receipt location just shows from where to where, and then this document number basically it can be created from SAP again. So you will have the customer's requirement document where the customer has placed the order. That number you will be able to type in here, and once you do type in the document number, it'll show you, it'll give you a dispatch ID, and with that it says that it shows you the sales order number and the material code, the material description, or the quantity and how much you are taking, right? So here, from once you do have all the accurate information, you can click on load to a pallet, right? So so load into a pallet and unload into a pallet can be done from here. To again to summarize, from let's say that the item came from the factory, and then you put that into a dispatch, and that item that gets dispatched comes to the central warehouse. So now at this stage we are in the central warehouse. So now what we're trying to do is we are trying to unload this into a pallet, right? So a pallet is something that is massive, that we put multiple or a bulk of items on. We can stack up all the items into one pallet, right? So that pallet is what we send to ship, or we send to the from the central warehouse. We then send it to to the to the suppliers. Now you will be unloading the pallet. So here we also have a mobile application where you can scan in for palletization. So when you're unloading into a pallet, you need to know the location of each specific item or each specific carton. So for that, the person who's unloading the pallet, they can use a mobile application, which is called the WMS Plus application, right? So it's an APK version that I have here. So when I go into this, me as the person who's unloading it, I can type in the pallet's barcode, and then I'll be labeling the rack that it is on, the column that I'm stacking onto, and the level of the rack. So once I put this information and save it, it will basically then if anyone were to cross check it, if anyone were to get a report of it, they easily know where the pallet is, or where a specific sales order is located in the warehouse, right? So this is for them to get this information. So here in the palletization, basically the person who is coming in can scan all the barcodes, and uh, they'll be able to basically locate it. Now in loading, this is where from the central warehouse we are sending it off to export or to the main customer. So loading bay is where we are loading the items that were in the central warehouse. So we can select the plant, and we need to type in the delivery document, and we can start loading. So once you type in the delivery document, it'll show you this delivery document. Again, you'll have to generate it through SAP. So you'll have the delivery document on SAP that you can input the number, and you can start loading. And it'll show you the delivery item numbers, the delivery quantity, um, and all of the information, right? So once you are picking, once you know the picking quantity is okay, you can then you should be scanning to pick. So each item that you're picking, you have to be scanning, and the picking quantity will increase with each scan. And when all that is done, you're basically good to go. So you can then process, right? So under the reports here, basically you'll be able to see the locations of the of each item. So you can type in a sales order, and then you can type in you can type the number that was in the pallet barcode, or the carton barcode, and the material barcode. So with these items, it could be either the sales order number, the pallet barcode number, or the carton number, or the material code number, with any code that you use, because anyway we have been segregating, we have been separating, we have been bulking each and every item. So we do know, or we have a track of each item where it is exactly. So you can simply click on search. Once you do click on search, you'll be able to find the pallet number, the rack that was in, the column that it was in, the level of it, the sales order number, the material code, and the number of cartons and the quantity. So this helps you to locate exactly to make sure that where you have your items located. So to show you, yeah, so this is an example. So it shows the pallet number, the sales order number, the material code, and the number of cartons and the quantity of it, and the rack and the column can also be seen. So basically, that is the system for WMS Plus. I'm sure you have questions, so please feel free to ask. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. I can unmute your mic from my end, then you can unmute yourself and then ask me questions. Well, looks like we do not have any questions so far. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask me. To wrap it up, thank you for being in the webinar. Thank you for your participation. We value it a lot. The next webinar will be held on the 25th of February 2024, which is next week, Thursday. At the same time, we'll be coming back with a new solution that FINAP has to offer. And I hope the FINAP's warehouse management systems demo is informative and it gave you some insights and can help you with your business, and you will be able to maybe find some pain points that you may have that you think that we can solve it with the WMS Plus. You can reach to us and we can help you to integrate our system into your business. And yeah, so next week we'll be coming back with a different solution that FINAP has to offer. Till then, hope you have a great day and thank you for being a part. Goodbye.